It's nice to see all of you here. Just a hint though, if you didn't come, I'd still show this movie. I love this movie. It's kind of fun. This movie actually played here before. Anybody see it in 2008 when it was part of our opening parade of 4-star films? Anybody from that crowd? Wow. Okay, anybody never see the film before? Okay, you will not be able to hand me the cash. You will want to turn over at the end of the movie in gratitude. Just tell your friends if you liked it. If you didn't like it, just tell me and I'll forget about it. It's kind of cute. When the movie played in 2008, I begged, I wanted to play this movie. I wanted to introduce, I wanted to share stories because I really enjoy this film. I've seen over 10,000 movies, and this is the top to me. I mean, if you're going to recommend a film, you want something that's going to make people feel good, turn them on, make them glad they're alive. This is the movie. So when it came to 2019 and they needed somebody to introduce it, there were 6 people that worked here that wanted to introduce it because they had since discovered that film. But let me tell you a little about why I'm here. The 1932 musical Love Me Tonight has become not only my favorite film, but a cause for celebration. Even before I started working for the Library of Congress as a nitrate film specialist 20 years ago, I had been a film buff for most of my 61 years. And as time has passed, the most frequent question I was asked was, so what is your favorite movie? And I used to answer, It's a Wonderful Life, or Stairway to Heaven, or maybe Lawrence of Arabia, if you could see it in 70 millimeter, or Letter from an Unknown Woman, a very touching romance, or one of a dozen titles that were my favorite at that time, because I had seen them recently. But I found I needed to pick one, just one, that most folks hadn't seen already, so as to recommend they seek it out. And the one I would be glad that, or one that they would be glad that I turned them on to. So I picked Love Me Tonight, and hundreds of newfound friends have been glad I did. So, here are my top 10 reasons to recommend Love Me Tonight. Oh, did I forget to do the rules? I know you're going to remind me, so I'll just get them out of the way real quick. If you haven't been here before, there's no eating, drinking, smoking, spitting, chewing. Please don't talk during the film, and don't take your cell phone out. If we catch you using it, you know what we're going to do. We're going to put it on Craigslist and sell it because Uncle Sam needs some money. So, here are my top 10 reasons to recommend Love Me Tonight. Number 10, critics love it. Film critic Leonard Maltin states that after Singing in the Rain and Wizard of Oz, this may be the best musical ever made. Film historian and snob Leslie Hallwell declared it the most fluently cinematic comedy musical ever made. In the National Film Registry, the Library of Congress's list of films worthy of preservation, in the second year, Love Me Tonight was put on that list, and just yesterday, I found the New York Times review, and there's a line from here I think is really neat. This is the New York Times in 1932 talking about Love Me Tonight. Quote, there are episodes in this production that merited applause, and the only reason the audience failed to clap their hands was because they evidently thought they might miss a few words of dialogue or one of the melodious bits of music. It's so good, people laughed fast so they didn't miss the next joke. Reason number 9, it is pre-code. Made in 1932, it's pre-code. That means before the production code clamped down on what you could say that was maybe too abrupt. So the 1932 film had more flirting with innuendo, which were permitted at the time, and they elevated that to a higher point. Myrna Loy, of Thin Man fame, is to say many sassy lines to show how man crazy she could be before the film. In fact, 15 minutes of the film were later eliminated as being too suggestive. There was talk and a song about a virgin spring. There was a song called A Woman Needs Something Like That. They actually cut out most of that song because of the lines. If you'll pull out your original script, turn in your hymnals to, section 6C, page 16. I'll read you a couple of the lines that got eliminated because they were too racy. This is a doctor singing a song. Let me tell you this, my dear, a doorbell needs tinkling, a flower needs sprinkling, and a woman needs something like that. A car needs ignition to keep in condition, and a woman needs something like that. All inventions of Edison and medicine would leave you flat. A peach must be eaten, a drum must be beaten, and a woman needs something like that. I'm sorry if I've offended anyone. Let's see, there were images that were taken out of the film. I've got a still in the back I can show you afterwards, a picture of Myrna Loy singing her lines from the song Mimi. At the end of the song, she stands up, and it's obviously the negligee she's wearing is somewhat translucent to the point that they cut that scene out where she stands up because you could see what Mother Nature blessed her with. I have a copy of the still that's sold on eBay for $425. I don't have the original still, just a copy. Number 8 reason to recommend Love Me Tonight are the songs, tunes, and lyrics. Love Me Tonight is a madcap musical tour de force of infectious melody, effortless vivacity, and ceaseless invention from first frame to last. Building on a foundation of songs by Roger and Hart, the lyrics actually propel the plot instead of stopping the story flat, as was the custom with most musicals. The song Isn't It Romantic is sung by one singer who passes it on to another, who then sings it as he walks away, and another picks up the song. And it's passed from person by person across the countryside in a very visual and clever manner. And later, a funny song with catchy lines called The Son of a Gun is Nothing But a Tailor will be sung by dozens of servant characters only seen and heard during this final witty song. Try to catch every word. Number 7, the charming plot. Carefree tailor Maurice Chevalier leaves Paris, where music literally radiates from every stoop, sidewalk, and boudoir, to collect on a past bill at a cheapskate client's family chateau. Mistaken for royalty, Maurice runs a gauntlet of lunatic blue bloods, including love-happy Myrna Loy and screwball icon Charlie Ruggles. But it's Princess Jeanette MacDonald's closely guarded heart that Maurice desires. And it will take every ounce of his ingenious pluck to woo her without revealing his well-meaning romantic deception. Number 6, innovation. The opening silent scene. The credits will start, you'll hear music, but at the end of the credits, it goes dead silent. The street sounds slowly build and overlap to create a musical symphony of mornings in Paris. Anybody been to Paris? Did you get up and watch the sunrise? Okay, you're going to see it tonight. How Maurice and Jeanette play characters named, now they went a stretch for this. Maurice is playing a character named Maurice, and Jeanette plays a character named Jeanette. In case you get confused, who's playing who? Let's see. Unknowingly, they sing a duet with the aid of an army and a band of gypsies. Many scenes were filmed with a full orchestra on a set so the singers could lock into the energy of the full orchestra while they were performing live without any of that phony lip syncing. There's a scene 3/4 of the way through the movie when Maurice Chevalier sings about an Apache dancer. And the key to the scene, you'll see they cast his shadow on the wall above a fireplace right behind him, and it's this wonderful close-up, and he's just singing in perfect tempo with the orchestra. I've got a photograph in the back to show you. 30 musicians were behind the camera playing live while he sang that sound. It was all being recorded in one take. Direction, paying tribute to Ernest Lubitsch. This is my reason number 5, the original director. Director Ruben Mamoulian nimbly packs Love Me Tonight with enough high-spirited cinematic innovation to fill a dozen films. Say with me now, Ruben Mamoulian. Repeat after me, Ruben Mamoulian. You never thought you could say that, did you? He was the man behind this wonderful film, using everything from zoom lenses to slow motion, both unheard of in 30s Hollywood. Mamoulian erased the lines that defined the musical genre, breaking rules that hadn't even been established. Reason number 4, the actors. Charming Maurice Chevalier, a poor tailor with his lower lip sticking out, woos and wins every woman within range while introducing songs, Isn't It Romantic and Mimi. And a very young and pretty Jeanette MacDonald plays a lonely princess that can find no one available that is her royal equal. And even her doctor states, she's not wasting away, she's just wasted. Jeanette sings Love Her and Love Me Tonight. Reason number 3, Lost. Most of the people have not seen this film because it was pulled from release for nearly 50 years as it was thought to be too suggestive. But now it is one of those titles that has been discovered and is used as an example of what a truly great film can be, and an example to classics, how they are continually being rediscovered by the younger generation. If you know anybody under 30, please show them this film so that when they're your age, they can do the same thing and show it to somebody under 30. It's this kind of movie. It'll get them hooked on film preservation. Number 2, it's movie lover lovable. This film is wise, knowing, life-embracing, and an absolute joy. I should know. I've seen it 30, 40 times. Just share it with your lover, and you too may get lucky. My number 1 reason, a personal collection. Not only do I own lots of stills, sheet music, handbills, lobby cards, which I will put out in the lobby after the movie so you can see them, and have an original script with the edited scenes from the 15 minutes of missing material for being too adult. I own a 16 millimeter film print of this movie that looks like this. Cost me $400 to be able to see this film because it was not available on videotape or DVD. So when I was lucky enough to find the woman of my life and marry her, she said, "What do you want to do on your honeymoon?" I said, "Well, watch Love Me Tonight." So out in the woods, in a cabin, it was a honeymoon getaway kind of cabin with a jacuzzi and all the good stuff. We strung up a sheet between a couple of trees. I took a 50-pound 16 millimeter projector, some long wires, speakers, the 16 millimeter print. We strung it up, and outside we watched Love Me Tonight, which is a great way to get in the mood if you haven't tried it. Finally, Jennifer, sweetheart, standing there at the back of the auditorium, would you please tell these nice people what is engraved inside of your wedding ring?
Love me tonight.
Inside of my wedding ring it says, "Remember the Night," which is her favorite movie, but that's another story. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoy our movie and that you tell more friends and family about the valuable work being done here at the Library of Congress, and please come back more often.